are in the idyllic surroundings of sunny Sardinia, the Mediterranean island hosting one of the roughest, toughest challenges in world motorsport. This is the fourth and final day of the Rally Italy Sardinia, a breathtaking backdrop in the island's rugged mountains, but don't be fooled by the stunning vistas. These stages can bite, and bite hard. It was a bad start to the weekend for Jari-Matti Latvala on Thursday night. Running first on the road and knocking a tyre off the rim cost him over 40 seconds.
I went a little bit inside, and straight away I think I broke the wheel and got the puncture.
As the sun rose over the ancient port of Olbia for day two, nobody was expecting the carnage that would follow. Incredibly, Sebastian Loeb was the first man to feel the wrath of the Sardinian stages. This mistake broke his steering and he was out. A rare error from the world champion. He would go no further on day two.
We broke something on the steering because I continued after, but steering was hard, and a few corners after it blocked completely, so we had to stop.
Sardinia was aiming its bullets at the Citroens. Next in the firing line was Thierry Neuville. He retired for the day after this roll. With two Citroens down, the island then focused its efforts on the Fords, and Jari-Matti Latvala, by now up to fourth place, was the next to get his lines wrong. After bursting the radiator on a gate and beating his Fiesta on a concrete block, another big driver signed his name on the retirement list. He was followed swiftly by the second factory Ford of Petter Solberg. This bedrock ripped his suspension apart. Unbelievable!
Very disappointed, very disappointed. I don't know. I will go down and take a look at what's happening, because I don't understand it yet.
Fellow Norwegian Mads Osberg should have capitalised by moving into the runner-up spot, but a broken rear differential saw him slip down the leaderboard to 7th and nearly 5 minutes adrift of the lead. With two stage wins, Evgeny Novikov found himself in a remarkable second place in what was fast becoming one of the most mature drives from the Russian. Which left Estonia's Ott Tänak on course for his first podium finish of the year in third. But sitting pretty at the top of the leaderboard and the only factory car to survive the Sardinian sucker punches was the Citroën DS3 of Mikko Hirvonen, over a minute clear out in front. After the car carnage of day two, the sun rose over Sardinia for the third leg, and those that survived took a somewhat calmer approach to the rally. The recovering Jari-Matti Latvala moved up to 15th overall, but was lucky to miss this huge rogue rock sitting on the apex of a fast right-hander.
There was a very, very big rock on the line, basically size like this, and it looks like I don't know where that rock has come from.
Meanwhile, Sebastian Loeb had decided not to return to the stages on day three and instead swapped 4 wheels for 2, taking the rare opportunity to spectate out on the stages.
It's not often that I can watch the other driving, so I took the opportunity.
Back out to the stages, the recovering Thierry Neuville was out purely to gain experience of the Sardinian roads, and there was only one corner that caught him out on the third leg, but after his day one retirement, he lies down in 21st. Up at the front, the M Sport star Evgeny Novikov hung on to second. He took a stage win early on, but a scare at the same corner that caught out Neuville was enough to calm the Russian down. And a mature drive from teammate Ott Tänak saw him remain in third. The only real mover of the day was Norway's Mads Osberg. He started day three down in 7th place, but had far from given up on his target for 4th.
Hopefully we are on target time to catch 4th. 4th? You don't think it's possible, Julian? Come on.
Well, it was. After 4 stage wins, the Norwegian went on to pass Chris Atkinson and Sebastian Ogier to close out the day in 4th place. But up at the front with over a minute's lead, Mikko Hirvonen was in cruising mode. With just 2 stages remaining today, the Flying Finn is well on course to take his first ever victory for Citroën.
It's looking good. 2 more stages to go, so not too bad.
So Mikko Hirvonen holds a comfortable lead of nearly a minute and a half over Evgeny Novikov, with Tanak a further 50 seconds back. Osberg's up to fourth, with Sebastian Ogier an incredible fifth, ahead of the struggling Chris Atkinson. The fourth and final leg here in Sardinia takes in just 2 8-kilometre stages to close out this bruising event. Stage 16 is, of course, the power stage, where extra championship points are up for grabs to the top 3 fastest through. This is how the crews line up, a carbon copy of leg 3 yesterday. Paolo Nobre leads the cars away. Latvala goes 4th ahead of Solberg. Chris Atkinson and Mads Osberg go 7th and 8th ahead of Tanak and Novikov. While our rally leader, Mikko Hirvonen, starts in 11th. Just 2 passes through the rough technical Gallura test to come then. It might be short, but packs a powerful punch. The fans have flooded into the stages, and this man will get a bigger cheer than most. Local driver Luca Pedersoli has made his WRC debut this weekend in a privately entered Citroën DS3, and he hasn't disappointed, fighting his way up to the point-scoring places in 10th. Petter Solberg, though, has had a frustrating rally on what could yet be his penultimate round with the Ford team. He knows he had the pace to fight for victory in Italy, but once again, bad luck ended any hopes of returning to the top step of the podium. Petter still pushing despite his frustrations. Incredibly tight and twisty in here. But that is the fastest time through so far. It's been a tough rally so far for former Subaru star Chris Atkinson. The Aussie has been plagued with handling problems all weekend in the Mini and is involved in a rather humbling fight for position with the Super 2000 Skoda of Sebastian Ogier. Chris is giving it everything here to make up the 3.9 second deficit to the Frenchman. .6:31.3, 4 seconds off Solberg's time. That's a good effort.
It's just a short stage. How's the car handling in there?
Yeah, it was okay. It's difficult with the worn tyres, but I pushed, and I think it's an okay time, but we know Sebastian's fast, so we've got to keep an eye on him and keep pushing.
Ogier is running behind the WRC car, so we'll get back to that battle shortly. Mads Osberg, meanwhile, has been one of the stars of the rally. The Adapter team driver has also suffered a myriad of mechanical gremlins in Sardinia, which makes his charge back up to 4th all the more impressive. He proves his pace once again with the fastest time through so far.
Mads, it's obviously like the preview for the power stage this afternoon, but how did it go first thing this morning?
Yeah, it was quite okay. Tricky, very tricky stage, but I started off to push a little bit too much, and just backing off a little bit, I got more traction and it felt better towards the end. So it was a good test.
Barring problems for those ahead, though, there is little Osberg can do to break into the podium places. Oyt Tanak is ahead in 3rd, but almost a minute and a half in front. The rough, narrow gravel roads of Gallura will be nerve-wracking for the top 3 drivers, all desperate to secure their best results of the season. Tanak tiptoes his way through the rocks and ruts. Nice and tidy, down the hairpins as well, and the penultimate test is cleared. The next man to pass through this rocky roulette is 2nd place Evgeny Novikov. The young Russian claimed a 2nd place finish in Portugal by default following a post-event exclusion for Mikko Hirvonen, but he is on course to claim his first runner-up result on merit. No heroics from Novikov and Ilkka Minor. He's 10 seconds slower than Osberg, and they go 6th fastest. And having been deprived his maiden Citroën win in the Algarve due to that technical infringement, finally, after 10 months and 11 rallies, Mikko Hirvonen has a first victory in a DS3, almost within his grasp. The car has been bulletproof all season, so a failure now would be heartbreaking for the Finn. Spectacular scenery as ever through the Sardinian wilderness. And that is another hurdle cleared. Just 8 kilometres remain between Mikko and win number 15. That's all the WRC runners through then, but we need to keep a close eye on the Skoda S2000 cars as well. Sébastien Ogier has driven an incredible rally so far. If he can do this in a normally aspirated Fabia, Volkswagen will be licking their lips in anticipation of next year. The downhill sections will have helped lessen the impact of having no turbo, but he's giving it everything to stay ahead of Atkinson. Chris today, 6:31.3.
Sur droite corde, frein arrivé, pour droite gauche 110, pour droite gauche 110.
Yes, another incredible drive from Ogier, and he holds on to 5th. And let's not forget Ogier's teammate Andreas Mikkelsen is also running in the points. With Latvala signing for VW next year, another strong result will help the Norwegian remind the German mark of his own considerable talents. Mikkelsen lies in a comfortable 7th place with 1 stage to run, while that stunning drive from his teammate sees Ogier stretch his advantage over Atkinson to 5.3 seconds. Out front, the status quo continues, with the top 3 still looking safe. After the break, we'll head back out to Galura for the end of rally power stage. And we speak to Jari-Matti Latvala about his exciting new challenge ahead with Volkswagen. See you again in a few minutes.
Švyturio ekstra aludarystės šedevras, iškovojęs Lietuvai pasaulio alaus taurės aukso medalį ir pripažintas geriausiu pasaulyje alumi savo klasėje.
As the WRC calendar fast approaches the season finale in Spain, the drivers and teams are beginning to explore their options for 2013. But for one man, the decision has been made. Spain will be Jari-Matti Latvala's last drive for the Ford team, following the announcement that he will make the move to Volkswagen to pilot the much-anticipated Polo R WRC alongside new teammate Sébastien Ogier.
Volkswagen is committed for the WRC for a long time. And there is a big motivation to try to win the championship. So, in the circumstances of what is the current championship situation and with the teams, I think they could provide me the longer commitment what we were looking for. So that was the reason.
The prospect of moving to the German mark is clearly an opportunity that the Finn is relishing, but much is expected of Jari next year. Cue Jos Capito, Volkswagen's motorsport director.
Jari-Matti is a great guy and he's a very fast rally driver, so I'm sure he's one of the 2-3 fastest. So together with Sébastien Ogier and Jari-Matti, I think we will have 2 of the top 3 fastest rally drivers within the team. The car is very reliable and we're now working on the performance. There's still a lot to do, but we've got another 2 months' time to work on the performance. So we are pretty confident that we can get the car at least very reliable at the beginning of the season. And then, as you know, the 13th season is like a developing and test season for us. And we have to improve from the first rally to the last through the season. This is the main target.
So with the development of the car ongoing, VW now have one of the strongest driver lineups in the championship, with Jari-Matti partnering current VW driver Ogier.
I think Jari is a nice guy, for sure. I know him from a few years now, and I'm sure it will be nice between us. But for sure, in the stage, it could be a hard fight because everybody knows that he's very fast. I'm sure he can bring a good experience from Ford maybe and make the Polo faster. We know that next year will be a difficult year for us. It will be the first race of the Polo, so for sure it will be hard to fight with the other, but the goal is to progress quickly and to be able yeah, as soon as possible to fight with them, get at least podium and maybe victory in the end of season.
With Volkswagen, it's clear that both drivers in the same position, which is the most important thing for me to drive in the team, and that's what this Volkswagen has said. So it's important. But of course, Ogier has done a work and testing, and he knows the car very well. But okay, I have been doing the WRC car, the championship, so I have experience from that side. So, but anyway, maybe he will be a little bit stronger to start with. But hopefully I can catch back, and we are strong together, making a strong team.
Back to the Italian action, and just one stage and 8 kilometres remain after a brutal outing through the Sardinian stages. So close, but yet so far for those 3 podium hopefuls. Well, we just heard from Latvala about his future plans with VW. He'll be devastated he couldn't produce another good result for Ford this weekend before he leaves. There is Spain to come, of course, but for now, Latvala's focused on a consolation power stage win. 6:13.6 is the fastest time through so far, and that's going to be tough to beat. Been a frustrating weekend for everyone at the Works Ford team, with Peter Solberg also falling foul of the challenging Sardinian roads, but he is pushing in here. Going to be very close to his teammates' time in the power stage. But Peter takes it 2 tenths quicker than Latvala. Martin Prokop has had an eventful weekend in his privately entered Ford Fiesta RS. Engine problems and numerous spins may have held him up, but he's survived a Sardinian scrap to secure another point-scoring finish in 8th. Left a bit of debris in his wake, but thankfully it's nothing critical he's lost there. Back to that intriguing fight for 5th between Sebastian Ogier and this man, Chris Atkinson. The Australian has had to give it everything to try and get back ahead. Oh, but that was a big hit on a rock. And it doesn't sound good. Yeah, he's picked up a puncture. Look at the front right. A disappointing finish to the rally for Atco then. That has blown any hopes he had of regaining 5th. After surviving the bulk of the Sardinian stages, he's been caught out with the end in sight. And joining Mads Osberg one last time on what's been one of his strongest events of the season. But he's hit a rock as well. I think his tyre has stayed inflated. A lucky escape for Mads, and his 4th place is secured, which keeps him right in the hunt for 3rd in the championship. There are still hazards out there to avoid then, so this will be a tense and emotional last few kilometres for the top 3 drivers. First to come through, Ott Tänak. After a roller coaster of a season, the Estonian finally has the result his undoubted pace deserves. That is a first ever podium for Ott and co-driver Koldersic.
I don't know, it's amazing feeling. I was like getting some tears already, like before the end of the stage, but I don't know. I couldn't imagine that it could be that good feeling, but it's so nice feeling.
Tänak safely home then, so can his M Sport teammate hold on for the runner-up spot? Evgeny Novikov carefully picking his way through the tight and twisty gravel tracks of Gallura. Unsurprisingly, none of these drivers interested in power stage points. The Russian rocket survives for the runner-up spot. And after a rough weekend for the Works Fords, at least M Sport can celebrate a double podium. Here is our leader now with the final stage snaking away in the distance. And this might have been one of Mikko Hirvonen's easiest wins, but while his main rivals fell by the wayside, the Finn still had to bring the car home. Just the final few tight and twisty corners to come now before the flying finish. It is a proud moment for Mikko and co-driver Jarmo Lehtinen. That's their 15th career win, the first of 2013, and Hirvonen becomes the first non-Frenchman to win for Citroën since Francois Duval in Australia back in 2005.
It's been a long weekend, for sure. I didn't expect to have this kind of rally, and I'm still a little bit nervous. It's like I won the rally first time, but you know, it just feels good, really good for for the sake of Citroën, and also, you know, I've been 5 times second here, so it just really feels so good finally win this rally.
An understandably emotional rally winner. There's confirmation that it was Solberg who took the power stage win, with Lapper and Neuville also claiming bonus points. They're not the last cars to come through though. It might only be for 5th place, but this has been one of the drives of Sébastien Ogier's career. With Chris Atkinson hitting trouble in here, the Frenchman can ease off the pace, but he was already winning the fight. That is a top 5 result for Ogier and the VW test team. And look how much that means to Sébastien.
So I think we can be very proud of this weekend. We have pushed really hard from the beginning. We just lost 30 seconds on day 1 because of puncture, but after that it was a maximum attack almost all the time. And once again we want to congratulate the team. The car was perfect. It's good motivation for next year.
5th place for Ogier then, with his teammate Andreas Mikkelsen in 7th, but up at the front, Hirvonen takes the victory with Novikov a distant 2nd ahead of his teammate Tanak. Osberg survives an eventful weekend to claim 4th. Plenty to talk about following that breakthrough win for Mikko. All the reaction to an eventful weekend in Sardinia is coming up in a few minutes. Welcome back to Rally Italia, Sardinia. Mikko Hirvonen has claimed his first ever victory for Citroën Racing in what has been a faultless drive across the weekend. His win made all the more special, having finished in the runner-up spot on this rally in its last 5 appearances on the WRC calendar. The Finn welcomed back to service by the rapturous applause from the team.
I feel really happy. I think one thing is, like, I've been 5 times second here, so it feels quite incredible finally win the rally, and I've always been really strong to maintain my pace and my position if it's needed, and I knew I could do it since I had a big lead for Evgeny, so it's never easy, but the lead was so big that I can take it a little bit steady and cautiously, and okay, it was a long weekend, but I don't really feel like I won my first rally. It's been a really long time since I won a rally, and my first with Citroën, so I feel really good.
Is this also bringing a lot of confidence for Rally Spain and of course for the year 2013?
Well, I think I proved my strongest point in a way, that I can be really consistent and win rallies. But still, we didn't have a big fight all 3 days, and I'm sure that's something we're going to face more next year. So I need to be ready for that. But then again, we were in a good pace since the beginning, and I can't really do anything about it. Everybody else makes mistakes, so it was good, really good.
I'm very happy. After what happened beginning of this year, it was important for us that Mikko win one rally this year, and I hope maybe that he can do it again in 3 weeks in Spain. You know, what happened at the beginning of the year was very difficult for everybody, and I was somebody who need to give back something to Mikko, and I know it's done, and it is very important for us for the future also. What Mikko showed in the beginning of the rally, and the pace he had and the times he did, and the big fight with everybody is very important for next year, and show that he's now very well with the car and with the team.
It's not just Citroën celebrating. The M Sport boys have also had a great weekend, with Evgeny Novikov equalling his best ever WRC finish in the runner-up spot, and his teammate Ott Tanak taking 3rd overall for his first ever podium.
It was a great weekend for us. It was a difficult rally and it was a long rally, so we had to need always a full concentration, and so we're happy. It's just cool. Very good result.
Amazing feeling. I couldn't think about that before the stage, that it could be feeling like this, but it was something incredible.
How was the whole weekend for you? Did you feel confident to stay, to defend your podium position?
Yeah, after this, when we got the podium place already, it was quite confident there, but on Thursday night when we did a wrong tire choice, I was pretty disappointed, but after this it was just uphill, and everything felt really good, so I'm really happy.
Sebastian Loeb is already crowned Drivers' Champion. Sardinia marks another celebration for Citroën. Mikko's win confirms his second place and a Citroën 1-2 for 2012. But the fight for third is still on. It's advantage Osberg going into the final round. Citroën Total also wrapped up the Manufacturers' Championship in France with the Ford team confirmed in second place. M Sport have secured third after their double podium here in Italy. There's a trip to the Millionaires' playground of Porto Cervo up the coast for the Finnish podium next, where the champagne will rarely taste so sweet for Mikko and Jarmo Lehtinen. To finish first you have to finish. Sardinia once again proof of that tale. The season finale takes us to the sun, sand and sea of Rally Catalunya in Spain in 3 weeks' time. Until then, it's goodbye from Sardinia.
7 right.